I do worry if we're letting our guard down. I think a lot of people have completely switched off in terms of following guidelines, having people in their homes and so on, people in their cars. And I was in town on Saturday. I know you were in town on Saturday as well. And I know outdoor is great, and it's good to see people socialising outdoors. I did think town was mobbed, I have to say, and I felt a little uneasy walking around because, again, even allowing for the fact it is outdoors, I thought town was overly packed, I have to say, on Saturday, and I was a little concerned about that.
That's really interesting because I was also in town on Saturday. We didn't bump into each other,
no.
but I was there too, and I was all around this area. I was around Drury Street, South William Street, Grafton Street, all around the kind of the area that we've heard there's been trouble at the previous weekend and all that, and there was loads of people. It was thronged, and I have to say, I was delighted to see them. I believe in the concept of an outdoor summer. I believe in it. And I know that there is a concern for non-vaccinated people that they could become, I suppose, infected with the Delta variant, the Indian variant, as some people still call it. And that is because it is more transmissible. It looks like it's about 60% more transmissible than the UK, the Kent variant that we've been dealing with lately, which was more transmissible than the first COVID that we had here, really. So it is more transmissible. But a couple of things. The vulnerable remain vaccinated. The over 65s, the medically vulnerable, they remain vaccinated, and the vaccines work for the Delta variant. So the only people who are going to get this type of infection, this type of COVID infection, are younger people or medically robust people. Is there a small, tiny possibility that some of those could become critically ill? Yeah, but it is a small, tiny possibility. The rest of the population has always been a tale of two halves. There have been the vulnerable to COVID and the non-vulnerable, and I still am yet to be convinced that the Delta variant, which could spread, yes, indeed it could, through the unvaccinated population, is going to cause the kind of problems that we saw previously. True, because those people are not vulnerable.
The problem is, Ciara, and we're seeing this potentially in the UK, if numbers do explode, it could limit the removal of the restrictions, and we're seeing that in the UK, and that's my big fear, that if we lose the run of ourselves and we actually forget there's still an issue there, that come 3-4 weeks time we might have to say we can't.
Why would we say that though? Because there is a massive
because if there's huge numbers of cases. And that's what they're doing in the UK at the moment.
You see, but there's a massive debate in the UK about whether they're getting that right. Because even in the face of a big number of cases here, we've got to remember there's 22 people in ICU here. There's 58 people in hospital with COVID.
If we have 1,000 cases, and I'm not saying we are going to, and hopefully
we easily could. We're on 400 cases now.
If we've well over 1,000 cases, politically it'll be very difficult to have a full reopening.
Even if the ICUs are empty and the hospitals are empty.
That is the political.
Well, that just goes to show we've lost the plot.